Lost Relics at Gettysburg, Unearthing the Forgotten Story of a Civil War Soldier. The hot July sun beat down on the rolling hills of Gettysburg, painting the grass in shimmering gold. Beneath the surface, secrets lay dormant. Fragments of lives lived, battles fought, and stories left unfinished. For one modern-day explorer, a quiet sweep of a metal detector would awaken a mystery that had slumbered for more than 150 years. A discovery in the shadow of history. It was just past sunrise when amateur metal detectorist Jamie Carter stepped onto the outskirts of the Gettysburg battlefield, the air thick with the hum of cicadas and the weight of history. Carter had spent countless weekends searching for lost relics, guided by a deep reverence for the past and a hope to touch, however briefly, the lives of those who had walked these fields before. On this morning, as the metal detector's familiar beep pierced the silence, Carter knelt beneath an ancient oak. Just a few inches below the surface, he uncovered a small brass object caked in earth. Wiping it clean, Carter realized he was holding a Civil War-era identification disc, an early form of a dog tag, etched with a name, a regiment, and a faint, almost illegible hometown. It was a personal artifact, lost in the chaos of battle, and it would soon become the key to unlocking a soldier's forgotten story. Who was Private Samuel Reed? The disc bore the name Samuel Reed, a private in the 11th Pennsylvania Volunteer Infantry. Unlike the more famous generals and officers whose exploits fill history books, Private Reed was one of thousands of ordinary men whose stories rarely surface. Yet as Carter stood in the field, cradling the tarnished disc, he felt an undeniable connection, a sense of responsibility to unravel the life behind the artifact. Carter's journey began at the local library, poring over regimental histories, enlistment records, and faded photographs. The 11th Pennsylvania had fought valiantly at Gettysburg, holding the line during some of the fiercest fighting near Oak Ridge. But records on Samuel Reed were sparse, a name in a muster roll, a brief note about a wound. No letters home, no grave marked with his name. As Carter dug deeper, he realized how many Civil War soldiers had simply faded from memory. The scale of the conflict, the chaos of battle, and the passage of time had erased the details of their lives, except, perhaps, for the occasional relic left behind. The power of a personal relic. What makes a small metal disc so powerful? For Carter, it was the tangible link to a single human being, a young man who marched into battle, clutching hopes, fears, and dreams. It was a reminder that history is not just dates and strategies, but lives lived in the shadow of war. He reached out to historians and battlefield guides, hoping to piece together Reed's final days. Theories emerged. Perhaps Reed had been wounded and carried off the field, or perhaps he'd lost his identification during the confusion of retreat. Some speculated he had survived the battle but disappeared into the fog of war, his story lost to all but those who loved him. The artifact also raised new questions. Why had Reed's family never claimed his body? Did anyone search for him after the battle? Carter's search became a tribute, a way of honoring not just Reed but all those whose sacrifices went unrecorded. Echoes through time. The story of Samuel Reed, and the countless others like him, underscores the enduring mystery and magnetism of Gettysburg. Each year, relic hunters and historians uncover buttons, bullets, and buckles, each piece a fragment of the larger tapestry. Occasionally, as with Carter's discovery, these finds become deeply personal, inviting us to remember the individuals behind the uniforms. Carter eventually donated the disc to the Gettysburg Museum, where it became part of a special exhibit on lost and found soldiers. Visitors paused before the display, reading Reed's name and wondering, as Carter had, about the life that once animated this humble artifact. The unwritten stories. Gettysburg remains one of America's most hallowed grounds, a place where history lives in every whisper of wind and every blade of grass. Yet for all its monuments and meticulously preserved fields, the battlefield still holds stories that history forgot. For Jamie Carter, the search continues. Each sweep of the metal detector is a question posed to the past, a hope that another lost relic might offer a glimpse into the life of someone like Samuel Reed. And for those who visit Gettysburg, perhaps the greatest lesson is this. Behind every artifact is a story waiting to be told, And sometimes, the smallest discovery can bring the silenced voices of history back to life.